welcome back to this Let's Play of Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic 2. Last time, we found ourselves without any clothes, we beat up some robots, which I don't know why they're attacking us, but maybe we can get some information about these security records. Let's look at these mining droid maintenance logs.
So, you're in maintenance. Then maybe you can tell me what's going on with these droids.
Sir, I don't know. It's like their behavior cores are undergoing binary decay, but I can't find the source. This shouldn't be happening.
Well, that's reassuring. It isn't happening. So the next time we nearly have a breach in the ventilation tunnels, I can just close my eyes and pretend it's my imagination. You better give me some answers. I want to know the damage these droids can do if they start mining us instead of asteroid rock.
Sir, these droids aren't combat models. Their mining lasers are weaker and less accurate than blasters. I doubt those droids could even hit one of us.
Are you blind? What about the miners in Medbay? It's sabotage, and it started right after the commander said we weren't going to sell the Jedi to the exchange. So I want you to find out how these droids are being sabotaged. That'll tell me who's trying to clear a path to get that Jedi off the facility, and stop him. In the meantime, make sure the security's armed with all the ion and sonic charges you can find. If those droids start coming after me, I'm gonna need more than low-grade mining lasers to take them down. Clear?
Yes, sir. Maintenance control out.
Idiot.
We'll run into more of that maintenance guy later. I'm not actually going to go through all these. One of them mentions a secret switch on the control panel which will shut down all the droids, which we're going to use. So there's some remote cameras here, but nothing really important. So let's move on.
Be careful. There is much energy in the room beyond, yet it stems from nothing that lives.
You could just say, hey, there's some droids in there, but, you know, that would be too obvious for Kreia. Kreia likes being cryptic.
Can you not sense them? Reach out. Cast aside your sight. Cast aside what you see, and instead reach out with your perceptions. Ah, you can feel them. The droids you cannot perceive, but the small oscillations of energy, that you can feel, echoing outwards.
Okay, and this game gives us our first force power, precognition, which just tells you to save your game every so often. I'm not actually going to. This is not a very dangerous encounter. But, I mean, it's just 3 of these giant mining droids. We've been fighting them in pairs all along, so, you know, how dangerous is that?
Ah, you hear. It is fate, is it?
Okay, and we just gained our first level to level 2. And so, fortunately, the droid decides to, you know, leave us alone while we're, you know, in the conversation here. And you could say, you know, what is happening?
It is the Force, you feel. It has not been so long as for you to forget.
Okay, and you can mention that it's almost been a decade since you could actually feel the Force, so something is wrong with our Jedi here.
Do not turn away from it. Listen. Feel it echoing within you. Come, I shall guide you down the familiar paths. You will need it if we are to survive and escape this place.
Okay, and yeah, Kreia's eyes are a little freaky, and that's why she has the hood thing. Now, we gained a level. I'm actually not going to gain the level immediately. One of the perks to gaining a level is you get, when you actually gain the level, you get your hit points restored. So, hey, free healing. And honestly, there's not really all that much I can get. So, I'll open these. You can see there are a couple broken items I'm picking up there. Broken items are still worth picking up because you can turn them into components and make stuff out of them. But here's some more mining droids, and I'm just going to fight my way past this one. And I'll come back to him in a second. We're just going to run right up to the administration computer here and activate the switch. And you get 50 XP for every droid you deactivate like that. You get 100 XP for killing them. So to a certain extent, if you want more XP, you can kill them. This game is based off of a dynamic difficulty system. Because of the sort of free roam portion of it, you could do it in any order, so they want to make sure that there's some challenge to it. And so gaining lots of levels really fast is really not all that important. It's not useless. You gain power more rapidly than your enemies do, so it's better to be higher level than lower level, but don't worry about it too much. Let's look at this damaged mining droid here. We can use our repair skill to get some components off of it, and you can't do any of these things if you actually kill the droids, so it's worth, even if you're killing most of them by manual attacks, it's probably worth killing one through the computer just so you can do this other stuff. Maybe not a big deal, but whatever. I'm going to use computer skill to look at the behavior core, and apparently some modifications have been made, and it's now locked out so that it'll only accept commands from one person. And we can look at the last set of commands, and it's more or less telling the droid to go berserk. We can change it so that the droid will now protect us, which is really not all that useful. And, hey, we got some components out of it. We got 60 XP. So I guess if you're trying to get absolutely maximum XP, if you kill all but one, disable one, and then do that, you will get 10 more XP than you would get by just killing all of them. If you care about that, I feel sorry for you. Anyway, I'm going to clean up this area. There's just more of these mining droids lying around. I'll show you the map when I'm done. This is where the terminal is here, and then there's some areas down here, and there's an area. We'll actually come back to a couple of these areas later, but there's nothing really important. There's a couple containers there with some random crap, more components.
Beyond this door, someone yet lives. Be mindful. His thoughts are difficult to read. But you have nothing to fear from this one, and he might yet prove useful.
Okay. Good to know she's got a cell phone. Or something.
Nice outfit. What, you miners change regulation uniforms while I've been in here?
Yeah.
Atten Rand. Excuse me if I don't shake hands. The field only causes mild electrical burns.
And why exactly are you locked up?
Security claimed I violated some trumped-up regulation or another. Take it up with them if you want. But they stopped listening to me shortly before they stopped feeding me. Now that's criminal.
Okay, well, we haven't seen any security.
You mean before or after that Jedi showed up? Either way, it's a real short story. You see, this Jedi shows up, and you know what that means. Where there's one Jedi, the Republic will soon be crawling up your ion engine in no time. But the story gets better. See, some of the miners get it into their ferrocrete skulls that since the Jedi's unconscious, they can collect the bounty the exchange has posted for live Jedi. Well, what passes for the law here didn't like that idea. So the two groups started fighting. Then there was some big explosion. I was sitting here for a long time. Then you showed up in your underwear and things got a lot better.
Good to know there's some humor in the game. And we can ask about the bounty.
Don't know much about it. Maybe the exchange wants one as a trophy, or somebody's got something against Jedi and is looking to collect. Not many Jedi left. Wouldn't surprise me if the bounty's pretty high.
This is, I guess sort of like the original movies. The Jedi are not quite as popular as they have been at some points in the history of Star Wars. And so we can ask about why there aren't very many Jedi.
The ones that weren't killed in the Jedi Civil War ended up switching off the lightsabers long ago. Word is there's not even a Jedi Council anymore, but who knows?
Okay, and we can ask about the war.
Yeah, Revan, Malak, and the Jedi that went to join them in the Mandalorian Wars. They turned against the other Jedi and had a scrap that almost laid waste to the galaxy. Where have you been?
And we've been away.
Well, I wasn't there, but like all Sith, Revan and Malak turned on each other. After they turned on the Jedi, of course.
Okay, and again I'm going to choose the canonical option, which is that Revan was a light side male. You can actually set the history for the game, and through this conversation, you can establish that Revan was dark side and female if you want, just based on how you answer these questions. Mass Effect 2 uses the same trope, actually, for establishing sort of what happened in history. Though there, obviously, you have imported saves, and here you do not. So we can say that Revan saved the Jedi and the Republic.
I guess. There's rumors all over space about it. All I heard was Revan returned to pay Malak back for trying to kill her in the first place. You know, women.
And here we can correct him that Revan was male.
Maybe you're right. Maybe I just hoped Revan was a woman.
Okay. Yeah, enough history.
Look, not like your half-naked interrogation isn't a personal fantasy of mine, but... Hey, wait a minute. You're that Jedi the miners were talking about. Where is everybody?
Uh-oh, we've been found out. But we're out of time. So that's the big realization for this conversation. Next time, we will join up with Atten and try and get off this rock.